المسلمين جاءوا الملا برسالة بيضاء من وحي الأمين ودعوا إلى السير القويم على غرار السالفين جاءوا الملا برسالة بيضاء من وحي الأمين ودعوا إلى السير القويم على غرار السالفين قسما لهم مجد نظر فاق مجد الخالد ومشى الركاب بذكرهم مدا على مر السنين.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you guys are having a great day, inshallah ta'ala. So I want to talk real quick about the importance of the salafs, and also I want to give you guys a real life example as to why it's ridiculous to call salafis innovation or a bid'ah, or aqidah full of bid'ah, or aqidah in general a bid'ah, right? So I like to give this example. So look at the example of even groups who do bid'ah. They still like to use hadith as examples of why their aqidah or why their sect is correct, right? So if you like to use hadith, how do we identify a hadith, whether we should follow it or not? We authenticate it by the grain. So if it's sahih, hasan, weak, fabricated, right? There's different levels of weak too, you know, there's very, very weak ones, and there's like better weak ones. But that's a whole nother topic, inshallah ta'ala. But I just want to give you guys this. How do we identify what's sahih and what's just fabricated, or what's weak, or what's hasan? How do we classify these? We classify these by the chain of narration. Are the men in the chain of narration trustworthy? Are they reputable men? Are they men who have good knowledge of the deen? Are they pious men? Are they men who weren't known to forget things, you know, who had very good memories? Did they have manuscript of this event happening, you know, in the chain of narration, all the way from the prophet to the men reporting it, you know, who reported it and stuff like this, right? So through the chain of narration, is there a strong chain narration, that the chain narration is very good? So, you know, the chain narration is the best, then it's obviously going to be sahih. And if it's bad, then it could either be fabricated or very weak. So my whole point of making this argument is like, all right, this is kind of veering off the topic. No, I want you guys to understand is all the people who were in the chain of narrations, were these not the salafs? Were these not the people? We wouldn't have the ahadith without the salafs. We wouldn't. Because who would be narrating it? Who would be saying the Prophet ﷺ said this? I sat with the Prophet ﷺ and he said this. You know, the companions, the people that come after the companions. So is Imam al-Bukhari, is he not a salaf? He was from the predecessors of Islam. There's no argument in that. Everyone knows that Imam al-Bukhari was a salaf, right? Sahih al-Bukhari is his collection of hadiths, right? So what I'm saying is to you, if you don't have a problem with the chain of narrations of the hadiths and verifying these hadiths through the chain of narration and knowing that the salafs narrated these hadiths, right? Then why do you have a problem following the salafs? That's my biggest question. Because without the hadith, without the salafs, we wouldn't have the hadiths today. We wouldn't know what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam really said and what he didn't say, or what was a lie or weak or fabricated. We wouldn't have this. So why is it so backwards and an innovation to follow the people who narrated this hadith? Obviously we follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We wouldn't know what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did if it wasn't for the ahadith. And we wouldn't have that narration, that hadith, if it wasn't for the salafs, for our pious predecessors. You know, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, hold on with your molar teeth to my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs. So Uthman, Ali, Abu Bakr, and Umar. These were companions of the Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. These companions of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So all I'm saying is that yes, we have to follow the Prophet, of course, but the rightly guided caliphs, he said follow their sunnah too. And he used, when describing his sunnah, and when he said it, he was describing the sunnah of what? Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, and Umar as one sunnah, as his sunnah. Because they were, in terms of aqidah, in terms of ibadah, in terms of their worship, they were all the same. Because they learned from him and they implemented the best of what his life. They wouldn't do something in terms of ibadah if the Prophet ﷺ didn't do it. Now I ask you, did the Prophet ﷺ ever celebrate his birthday? Some people make the argument, well, he fasted on the day he was born. Yes, he did. But when you see birthdays in the West, do people fast on their birthdays? No. No, they don't. We fast on Mondays and Thursdays. This doesn't mean if you were born on Wednesday, you fast that day. No, it's ibadah as well. So what I'm trying to say on to is hold on tight to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ And by holding on tight to the sunnah of the Prophet, by holding on to it with your molar teeth, you're also holding on to the sunnah of the rightly guided Khalifs and the Sahaba, radhi anhum, because there would be no hadith, there would be no narrations, and there would be no grades of hadith if it wasn't for the Salafs. So hold on to them as well, and what they do, and follow them, because they were the best generations to walk this earth, as told by Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said in the authentic hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best generation is my generation, then after them, then generation after them. Those three generations, these are just classified as one as the Salafs, the predecessors, the pious predecessors of Islam. So I just want to give you guys that, hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, you guys all understood what I was trying to make. I was trying to make the reference of, if we follow the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we understand that there's a narration, and that the narration would not be possible. There'd be a huge gap if the Salafs weren't in there. So I want to give you guys that, so you could understand better the reasoning and logic behind following the Salafs, as the Prophet ﷺ instructed us to, and told us that they're the best of generations. And like I said, you can look up the hadith, it's authenticated. The Prophet ﷺ said, hold tight onto my sunnah with your molar teeth, and the sunnah of the four rightly guarded Khalifs after me, Uthman, Ali, Abu Bakr, and Umar. So inshallah ta'ala, you guys all benefit from that. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.